What's up, YouTube? You might be wondering why I'm doing this Q&A in my car, but it's because the AC in my apartment doesn't reach my room. It's only the living room, and my brother's playing video games right now. So in order for me to film this, I'd have to be in my room, and it's just not bearable. So my car it is. I'm going to be answering the questions that you guys submitted through my Instagram. Let me pull them up. Just a moment here. I should have been a little bit more prepared. Let's see. I will say, though, that there was a lot of questions about my dating life, and I will once and for all address them in this video, but let's get some of these other questions out of the way at first. Oh my gosh, where are they? Seriously? Here we go. Okay. Let's start. I'm going to start. I'll show you guys how many there are. I don't have that many followers, so I really don't have that many questions, which might actually be a good thing. This video won't be too long for you. So I'll start with the bottom. When are you going to start watching Lord of the Rings? This is a friend of mine that I met at a powerlifting gym, and he had asked me before if I watched Lord of the Rings or, God, what was the other one? Star Wars. I prefer Star Wars. I've never finished Lord of the Rings. I don't know what it is. I've seen clips here and there. I've just never sat down and fully watched it. It's just not my thing. I don't know. Where do you get your bee pollen from? My bee pollen is from, where did I get it? Actually, Whole Foods. But you just have to make sure that you choose one that's a local bee pollen. That way it supposedly helps with your allergies. So far, it's helped me. Don't know if it actually 100% does. If it's a placebo effect, great, right? Your favorite countries you have visited. My favorite countries. I love the Netherlands. It sounds super cliche, but Amsterdam has always been one of my favorite cities that I've visited. Everybody there is extremely kind. It's beautiful. It's walkable. You can ride bikes everywhere. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about it. I hate using the word vibe, but there's a vibe there that I think about frequently because I need to go back. It's been a very long time since I've been there. Aside from that, I'll always love Mexico. It's beautiful and the beaches are amazing. Food's great. How many calories do you eat a day? I probably eat about close to 3,000. I think right now I'm probably at 2,700 or 2,800. I haven't really been monitoring it, but when I do, I try to get really close to 3,000. What motivates you to train? My sobriety, to be honest. And if I don't train, I'm going to get bored. I'm going to get anxious, depressed. Nothing good is going to come out of me not being able to train. So I think that's my biggest motivator. What do you like to read? I really enjoy reading nonfiction books, but I do go through phases where I'll pick a fiction book, but most of the time it's nonfiction books. Where were you born and raised? I was born in Germany, and I was mainly raised, though, in Arizona. Well, let's see. I was born in Germany, lived there for 12 years, then moved to Arizona when I was obviously 12, and lived there up until I was, oh my God, I don't want to do math right now, till 2017, and that's when I moved to LA. But I feel like I guess raised was half and half. I definitely consider myself Americanized, though. I tried to move back to Germany in 2011, but I didn't really mesh well with the culture and their way of life. I truly miss the United States, so I moved back, and I don't think I'll ever live anywhere else but the United States. What sports did you participate in back in the day? What sports? None. I mean, I did horseback riding. I don't go horseback riding as much anymore. I don't have my own horse out here. Hopefully one day, that's one of my biggest goals, to be able to ride again every day. I miss it so much. Aside from that, I never played any sports aside from PE class. I really loved badminton, though. I loved badminton, but I didn't play competitively, nor am I good enough to even do that. How come you don't go to Speakeasy anymore? So that gym, I really appreciated it in the during the pandemic. Everything was outside, right? But I don't know, the management was really nice, and I don't know, I liked it a lot. And then once I moved inside, there was just like a weird change, and the management was not as, how do I put it, respectful, I guess. And the place got extremely messy and dirty, and I don't like gyms like that. The one I go to now is always extremely clean. The owners are incredible. The other coaches there are great. The people that go there are wonderful. And the equipment is always changing, always improving. So I don't really see myself going to another gym. Hi, Sid. Hi. I'm honestly answering every single one of these. So, can we collab? Once named every province of Vietnam in 3 minutes and 17. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Any goals that you set this year and have accomplished or still working on? That's a good question. So one of my goals was to get more involved in online coaching. So I did accomplish that, which is exciting. The ones I'm still working for is to be able to be fully remote and not have to train in-person clients anymore. I do have, so my in-person clients, a lot of them I've had for a couple years, so I would still continue training them and coaching them. But I want to bring on new people, and I want to just be able to work remotely so I'm able to travel more. I know it sounds really cliche. Everyone always talks about wanting to travel more, but truly, since I've moved to LA, 2017, I've only taken two vacations. All the other times that I took off work was for like mandatory things like my friends' weddings or going back to Arizona to visit family or my mom which is not, I'm not saying it's mandatory. I wanted to visit, but it wasn't something that I planned out like a vacation. So that's definitely something that I need to do. I've missed traveling, but I've just been working so much. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully obtaining that goal and being able to travel more. Okay, I'm going to put this down now because the dating questions that I always get so often. One of them was, why are you single? And I really thought about this, and this just makes the most sense for me. So the reason I'm single is because I work a lot, and so I don't go out a lot. The places that I frequent are basically the same places every day. I go to my gym that I work at, then I go to the gym that I work out at, then I go to the same grocery stores, I go for my walks. I don't change up sorry I keep touching my hair, but it feels weird today. What was I saying? Oh, and I'll go to the beach every once in a while, but when I'm at the beach, I zone out and I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to decompress, and I don't even want to look at my phone. So the places that I regularly frequent, I clearly haven't met anybody that is any kind of interest. I mean, I've dated a few people or tried to date a few people, but they all ended up not being a good fit. And by that, I mean, a lot of them, how do I put this? Were cheaters. And I hate being the type of person that is a girl that somebody cheats on with, and I was that girl, and I didn't find out until way later, which was a really shitty feeling. So that was actually pretty common for me, is that guys will show interest, and then, I'm like, okay, cool, and we go on a couple dates, and we end up liking each other, and then, I come to find out later he has a girlfriend, or has had one the whole time, or is messing around with other girls, and they're just not honest with their intentions. And then I really started to kind of dig deep. I'm like, why am I not meeting somebody aside from me not really getting out? Another thing is that and this is something that I take full responsibility with, when you look at as a man, if you were to look at my you don't know me and you look at my Instagram, it's a lot of ass shots, always wearing a sports bra, short shorts during the summer, the shorts where it goes between your ass cheeks. I think as a man, when they look at it, I probably look like somebody that's extremely easy and isn't looking for anything serious. And I hate saying that, but I'm just trying to put myself in a man's shoes with a lot of testosterone. And I feel like that's what I would look at when I looked at my profile without knowing me as a person. So I think that's why too my DMs are filled with a lot of, and I'm sorry to say this, but disgusting men too, trying to get in my pants. There's even been a few married men, which makes me sometimes lose all hope in humanity, because it's absolutely disgusting for married men to slide into my DMs. And then I call them out on it and they say things like, oh, me and my wife are swingers. I'm not stupid. That's the thing. I'm not dumb. So I just haven't really put a lot of focus into dating. I want to meet somebody organically. I've tried dating apps, which have also been absolutely disastrous. I have a few stories about that too. I don't know if I'm really like ready to share that fully. I've shared one on my Instagram, but that wasn't even from online dating. That was just from somebody sliding my DMs, and I thought I could make it work, but it definitely was not a good idea. So I think that's why I'm single. But timing is everything. I'm not going to force anything. If I meet somebody, I meet somebody. But I do realize in order for me to meet somebody, I probably have to be a little bit out of my regular routine. So we'll see where that goes. I don't want to say I'm not in a hurry, because ever since I turned probably like I'm 31 now, but ever since I turned 29, I started to kind of feel that pressure that people, I guess especially women, feel about marriage and starting a family and kids and all that stuff. And I feel like when I see what men are going for, and a lot of men are going for younger women, I don't feel old. I'm not saying 31 is old, but sometimes it's a little discouraging, because then I get in my head and think to myself, oh, why would he want to date me if he could have this 24-year-old girl? I know it's a stupid mindset, but I'm just being transparent here and honest and telling you guys that's what goes through my head. That's one of the things. And people have asked me what my type is. I'm honestly very picky, which is probably also a reason why I'm single right now. And I used to settle for basically the bare minimum. But ever since I'm kind of going off a tangent here, but ever since I got off my birth control, my taste in men has changed, and my standards have gone up, and my boundaries have gone up. And there's just certain things that, I think to some people would be like, oh, you're expecting too much, but I'm not going to settle for what I've settled in the past. And I've let a lot of things slide, and I've ignored red flags. I know nobody's perfect. I know I probably have some red flags too. There's going to be things that, a man's not going to like about me too, and I am aware of that, but there's just certain things that I expect out of a man, and I have very traditional views. This is going to sound, I know I'm probably going to get some hate for this. I want my man to make more money than me. I don't know what it is. I don't want to I don't know. That's the kind of view I have. I want my man to be my provider. I'm not saying I'm never going to work. I'm not going to contribute to anything, but for some reason, I don't know. I just want my man to be very successful, like more successful than me. I don't know if that has anything to do. I'm not trying to like downgrade my self-worth, right? That's not what I'm trying to get at. I hope you guys understand that. I just want, my neighbor just walked up. That was awkward. I just want my man to be the provider. I don't know. That's just my viewpoint. And what else do I want? As far as like traditional values go too, there's like silly little things that when I go on dates and a guy doesn't do this, I'm kind of just turned off by. If you don't open my door, if you let me walk closest to the street, I don't like that. That's another thing. So these two things, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm just very picky. And I've had guys too, which is what I like, randomly throughout the day, or if I'm getting my nails done or something, I'll be, oh, here, like I'm getting your nails for you. I know it's monetary things, but it's like little things like that to me mean a lot. And I'm not trying to say this monetary thing, like I can pay for my own nails, but it's just like little surprises like that is what I like. But mainly too is I like autonomy. I want my husband to have his own thing. I don't need you to be on my throat the whole time. I want you to have your own thing. I want you to have your boys' night, but I also want you to give me space too, and I don't want you to think that that I'm pushing you away if I don't want to spend time with you. But I'm a very independent person, and I need my space. And I don't know, I guess that's a few things that I have as far as my type goes. Oh, looks wise, that's what people always ask, is I like dark features. So I'm not really into blondes or like light eyes. I like dark hair, dark eyes. I prefer tall. I know it sounds, most girls do, but I do. I've dated shorter guys, and I don't know. It's not my thing. I like to be able to wear heels. When the fuck do I even wear heels? But when I do, I always want to be shorter still. I need my man to work out. I don't need you to look like you have a six-pack all the time. I actually prefer more of a power lifter build than a bodybuilder. I don't like super lean. I'm not attracted to that. So wow, yeah, I sound super picky, right? This is why I'm single, because where is he? It's another thing. Religion is a big thing too. This is something that's like new for me, and I haven't even like talked about it publicly. I was never into religion. I was very much an atheist, I would say, but up until honestly this year, I don't know, there's a change in me. I don't know what it is, but I definitely believe in God. No, I never did before. And my life has honestly improved because of it. And I kind of understand now when people say, oh, you'll see the light. And I'm starting to see the light, which I'm excited about. So I think that's another, when I look back at my dating history, everything happens for a reason, right? And I feel like I needed to get to this path and this part of learning more about God and that type of stuff in order for me to meet my right person, if that makes sense. Which is actually kind of funny too, because some of the guys that I've dated that are very religious are the biggest cheaters that I've ever dated. Okay? Which is, I think, one of the reasons too that sometimes I was very hesitant with religion. I'm like, well, he was a cheater, but he says he goes to church and believes in this, and that. I'm like, But yeah, these are all just things that I'm still learning, and I'm adjusting and adapting, I guess. That's pretty much it with my dating life. Oh, actually, another thing is I love to eat. So if you don't like to share food, it's just not going to work out. I love to share food. I think it's such a great experience trying things together and being open-minded to different things. Can I cook? I can cook, but I definitely would like, I live with my brother, so every time I cook, I feel like I'm a shitty cook compared to what my brother makes, but I think I need to start giving myself more credit, because if I had more time too, I could be an even better cook. Trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of as far as dating goes, but I think that pretty much covers it. Trying to think. Oh, another thing is I have dated guys with kids, and I was very opposed to that in the past, but as I'm getting older, I understand that that's something that I'll probably come across with again. It doesn't bother me unless the baby mama is quote unquote crazy. And I know there's always two sides to every story, but from the men that I have dated in the past that have had children, that's kind of been an issue. So I don't want to get involved in that. I also feel like there's always a bond between a mother and a father, and even if they're divorced, I don't know. I'm weird about that. So it's just like, that's like a tough subject for me too. So ideally, somebody that doesn't have kids yet, if he's divorced, it is what it is. But I'm also very big on solving conflicts. I think nowadays people, when they get in arguments or, when they're in relationships, they're so quick to break things up. Whereas I'm more of like, okay, let's work it out. Obviously, unless it's abusive things or certain things that are just absolutely a no. Which actually, I don't even count my last boyfriend. My boyfriend, it only lasted a couple months, but he was extremely controlling. So that was like emotionally kind of abusive towards me. And then it got a little physical. I'm actually very proud of myself for getting out of that relationship, because he never hit me, but he threw things at me. And then later on would claim he didn't throw anything. He just lightly placed something next to me, which was like complete bullshit. And probably shouldn't say this on YouTube, but I've watched so much Dateline that one of the last arguments we had, there was an incident on the freeway. We actually had to get out of the car, and there was like a fender that rolled under the car after we were arguing, whatever. When he got out of the car, I pressed record on my phone. So I have a whole conversation of him recorded as basically, I don't know why I still have it, but it's a good reminder because it just reminds me of what I got out of. The things he was saying, yelling at me and saying about me were just awful. And I know I shouldn't look back on it, but I'm kind of psycho like that where I kind of keep those things. And you never know. And I know I'm not going to, I would never share that publicly. I know it's illegal too. But if you're a girl and you're going through something like that, you know, take this as your sign. You're better than that. You're worth more than that, and you can get out. You can. I don't know, that was a little tangent. That's a whole nother story, but that's something too, again, that's not something I'm going to publicly share with everybody, but that's just like the gist of it, just so you can kind of see what kind of assholes I've dealt with. And again, I'm not saying I'm always a perfect girlfriend. And I look back at how I was in relationships in my early 20s. Whew, I was so insecure. I had extreme attachment issues. So I'm sorry to any of my ex-boyfriends when I was in my 20s, because I was crazy. But I'm definitely not like, I mean, obviously I think every girl has a little crazy in them, but I'm very much calmed down. I know how to deal with my emotions. And that's another thing too that I look for in men, if how reactive they are to certain situations. Because I don't deal with anger very well. A lot of times when people get angry, I don't understand it anymore. I used to be very responsive to anger and reactive to anger, but now I don't really get angry. So when other people get angry, sometimes I can't tolerate it, and I just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm just blabbing, but there's no reason to be angry, right? I don't know. And yeah, that's my dating life story, I suppose. If you guys have any more questions, drop them in the comments. But this concludes my weekly video. I'm going to try to get some more workout vlogs done next week. I just thought maybe it'd be cool to switch it up just with these Q&As and answer the dying question about my dating life. And hopefully you guys will understand now. And that's another thing I wanted to say. That's pretty much it, actually. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe, like, comment, that whole jazz. But thank you guys.